Smoking is a biological habit hardwired into our species long before the rise of the first tobacco companies or the invention of agriculture. Roughly 1 million years ago, at Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, our ancestors began a daily relationship with fire. These weren't Homo sapiens yet, but Homo erectus, early hominids who used contained flames to cook, stay warm, and survive the dark. Living in enclosed caves meant every individual inhaled thick, choking wood smoke every single day. For hundreds of thousands of years, breathing in the byproducts of fire was the constant, unavoidable reality of human existence. But burning organic matter creates a complex cocktail of compounds. Accidentally burning specific wild plants released alkaloids and terpenes that interact with the human nervous system. Because humans already possessed an endocannabinoid system, these smoke-borne chemicals were perfectly received. The biological hardware was already waiting. The very first human high was a byproduct of fire and chance, but because humans excel at linking cause and effect, an ancestor eventually realized that burning specific plants changed how they felt, transforming an accidental inhalation into a deliberate choice to seek that experience again. This is known as the intoxication hypothesis, the idea that seeking altered mental states is a drive as deep as hunger or sex. It is a universal behavior documented across nearly every human culture and observed in everything from elephants to Siberian reindeer. Archaeological evidence places this behavior far back in our history. In the Great Salt Lake Desert of Utah, researchers found tobacco seeds concentrated in a 12,000-year-old hearth, indicating that humans were burning the plant thousands of years before they ever learned to make a pipe. In the Pamir Mountains of Central Asia, the evidence is even more explicit. Burial sites from 500 BC contain wooden braziers used to superheat stones and burn high THC cannabis for intentional inhalation during funeral rituals. These finds corroborate the records of the historian Herodotus, who described how Scythian nomads would sit inside enclosed tents, throwing hemp seeds onto glowing stones and howling with pleasure as they inhaled the resulting vapors. While organic materials like leaves and wood rarely survive thousands of years in the dirt, the lack of physical pipes doesn't mean smoking didn't happen. The biological drive was there, even if the tools to facilitate it eventually rotted away. In the ancient world, inhaling smoke was rarely a casual pastime. Early civilizations viewed it as an advanced medical technology, using the lungs as a direct delivery mechanism for botanical compounds. The Egyptian Ebers papyrus from 1550 BC prescribed herbal smoke for lung conditions, while ancient Ayurvedic texts in India detailed Dhumapana, a sophisticated medical system for inhaling specific plants to treat disease. In the Americas, tobacco was a sacred medium used to communicate with the spirit world. These ceremonial pipes weren't for a quick break. They were tools for shamans to open channels to the divine, treating the smoke as a living carrier for prayers and visions. This shared inhalation also functioned as social technology. Modern neuroscience shows that shared rituals and altered states synchronize neural activity among group members, building the deep mutual trust necessary for prehistoric survival. Ancient smoke rituals provided the critical social and medical infrastructure of the time, a practice defined by reverence, discipline, and a sense of divine connection. The turning point arrived in 1492. When European explorers first observed indigenous tobacco rituals, they immediately stripped the plant of its sacred, communal context and reimagined it as a commodity. Within decades, tobacco became a global obsession. By the 1700s, inhaling powdered tobacco from a snuff box was an aristocratic fashion statement across Europe, marking the shift from sacred ritual to aristocratic habit. The 20th century then industrialized the plant. Mass-produced cigarettes turned tobacco into a cheap, convenient consumer good, designed to be extracted from the earth and sold at a massive scale. Modern executives engineered these products to maximize addiction, adding chemicals to make nicotine hit faster, while using authority figures like doctors to suppress the emerging evidence that their product was fatal. A shaman in 500 BC used cannabis smoke to open a channel to the divine. A 1960s corporate executive used tobacco to engineer a cycle of physical addiction for profit. While the chemistry remains the same, The intent shifted from spiritual reverence to calculated financial extraction. Despite this modern corruption, the underlying human drive to gather around a fire and seek an altered state remains ancient and unbroken. When you catch the scent of wood smoke on a cold night or stand near a crackling fire, you are participating in a behavior that stretches back 100,000 years. You are doing what humans have always done, connecting with the oldest shared ritual in our history.